All right, we've got every level of freedom explained in 10 minutes. Let's see.
Level 1, Total Physical Entrapment. Imagine you're stuck 1,000 feet underground. You can't go forward.
Already cooked. Just that alone, cooked. There's nothing you can do. You're cooked.
You can't turn around. You can't even scratch your own nose. This is the lowest level of freedom a human can reach. At this level, it doesn't matter who you are. Your net worth might be 10 billion or zero. It's irrelevant. The only thing that matters is that you can't move. Most of you will never experience level 1. You're probably stuck at level 3 or 4, but we'll get to that later. Level 1 isn't about politics or money. It's when your own body becomes the prison. Just think about it. If you can't move at all, what freedom do you really have? It's not only caves that puts you at level 1. Let's say you're strapped up in a contraption. Physical restraint so tight you can only move your eyes.
Yeah, because then it's like at what point does the stuff that you care about stop mattering? Like, at what point does it not matter anymore if you have however much money or these looks or whatever it may be? Think about it.
Doesn't matter if you're the most powerful person in the world. Your freedom is now in the hands of the person with the key. They control you and decide your fate. This level is actually not as rare as you might think. We got locked-in syndrome, where you are conscious and aware but cannot move or communicate. We also have total paralysis, sleep paralysis, drug-induced paralysis. There are actually quite a few ways you can drop down to level 1 quite quickly. All it takes is a syringe. Thankfully, most of level 1 is temporary. A drug will wear off, and you'll probably be freed from your restraints eventually. It doesn't matter how smart you are, how rich, how important. At this level, we are all equals. So if you're lucky enough to choose your own movement, don't take it lightly. You've already escaped the bottom. The only question now is, how far up can you go? Level 2,
Mm.
Controlled by Force. You've escaped total physical entrapment. Your body works again. You can move, you can speak, you can scratch your nose, but now you face a new kind of trap. Control. One of the clearest examples of this is prison. In an American prison, you're not paralyzed. You're alive and active, but every part of your life is managed. Your movement, your time, your voice. You wake up when you're told. You eat when the schedule allows. You're monitored, searched, counted, confined. Sometimes you even have to take a dump on command. If you refuse to follow the rules, there are consequences. Not just warnings or lectures, but isolation, restraint, even violence. But not all cages are made of bars. At some places, you're free to move and speak, or so it seems. Every action is tracked, every message scanned, every step recorded by a web of surveillance and facial recognition. Say something online that the government doesn't like and it's post too many of the wrong opinions and your social score drops. Suddenly you can't buy a train ticket. You can't rent an apartment. Your children might be banned from better schools. You're not in a cell, but you're still being watched. Most people at this level obey, not because someone is yelling orders, but because the threat is always there. This is a different kind of force. One that doesn't chain your hands, but rather shapes your behavior. You're free to walk, but only in the direction that's allowed. Level 3. Financially bound. At level 3, you've escaped direct control. No one tells you when to eat or when to go out into your yard, and you can post whatever offensive meme you want online. This is probably where you are, and where most people reside all their lives. You're finally free, at least on paper. But you've got a new boss now, and his name is money. Rent, bills, debt, groceries, it's all perfectly calibrated to keep you just barely afloat. You work full time and still feel broke. Or maybe you're still in school, not because you want to, but because you have to. And the little money you get doesn't buy you much freedom. That next paycheck is keeping you on a tight leash, so how can you call yourself free? Sure, you might say survival always requires effort. Even a medieval hunter had to wake up and track rabbits just to eat. But here's the difference. That hunter answered to nature. You answer to a system that profits off your exhaustion. Your company, your landlord, your bank. The more you work, the more money they make.
Which sucks ass, bro. And I know I'm not the only one, but I wish there was just another way of living, bro. A way of living where people could do the things that they want to do without it having to cost so much or cost them so much. But yeah,
It's a philosophical debate whether or not you're truly free at this level. But one thing is certain. At level 3, money buys freedom. Freedom to take longer vacations, freedom to quit toxic jobs, freedom to say no. And until you can afford to walk away, you're still playing by someone else's rules. Level 4, False Freedom. At this level, you've escaped survival mode. You're no longer living paycheck to paycheck. You've got some savings, a stable job, a strong portfolio. You could even retire early if you keep your lifestyle lean. Your net worth is between 500,000 to 5 million depending on your age. This feels like freedom, and to be fair, this level isn't bad. In fact, a lot of people would be lucky to get here. You can live a good life at level 4, some peace of mind, money is no longer your boss, you can finally afford to say no. So what's holding you back? Mostly you. You have choices, but you rarely question them. This is agency freedom, the ability to act, but not autonomous freedom, the ability to act by your own highest values. You're like a smoker who says he values his health but keeps lighting up. You're living but not aligned. You're not oppressed, but you're not fully alive either. You're looping through a life that's safe, predictable, familiar, and you've convinced yourself that's all freedom is. This is level 4, comfortable, stable, dull. A life that looks free, and could be as well, if you just let it. Level 5, financially free. You're not just surviving. You're not just coasting. You are truly free from financial need. Your net worth ranges from low 8 figures into the high 9 figures. Your income is no longer tied to your labor, it's tied to your capital. Rental properties in different countries earning safe income without you lifting a finger. Your property managers get a small percent of the cut. Your extremely safe and balanced investment portfolio generates dividends that pays out monthly or quarterly. And of course you have a money guy for this. Whether you reach this level through a billion-dollar company, an inheritance, a multi-decade career, or decades of strategic investing, the result is the same. You've escaped the cycle of financial survival. Very few people ever get here. This is as far as money alone can take you. And when combined with health, this level lets you purchase almost any version of freedom. If you're caught in legal trouble, you can afford the best lawyers, or even buy your way out. If your country falls apart, you can buy citizenship elsewhere and relocate with ease. You don't have to consider whether a new country is affordable, or even line up a new job there. At this level of freedom, you're not thinking in terms of budget. You're just thinking in terms of what you want. This is the kind of wealth that rewires your daily experience of life. Even some laws start to lose their grip on you. If the punishment is just a monetary fine, you don't.
Yeah, sometimes I pray to be like this level of afraid, but then I think like, if I ever get to this point, will I change as a person? And if I do, will it be for the better or for the worse? Because I don't know. It's hard to tell. Money changes people, though, or so I've heard.
Care. To you, it's not a punishment. It's a price tag. Can't find parking in the city? Just park wherever. As long as they don't tow your car, you might as well pay $1,000 for the convenience. Build too big? Break zoning codes. That fine just becomes another cost of doing business. But even at this level, freedom isn't guaranteed, because money can't save you from yourself. You could still fall into the same loops as level 4. You could live comfortably, safely, and stagnate for decades. You could waste your freedom protecting comfort instead of pursuing growth. But now, there's no external excuse. You're not held back by work or bills or time. You're held back only by fear, habit, or lack of purpose. The advantage of level 5 isn't just excess, it's optionality. You can take big risks, you can lose money and still sleep at night. You can walk away from anything that doesn't align with your values, because your survival no longer depends on anyone else. Still, even now, the system remains. You may be free from financial pressure, but you still follow laws you didn't write, rely on institutions you don't control, and operate within borders that aren't yours to move. You may influence the game, but you didn't create it. This is level 5, the furthest freedom money can buy. But if you want more than just financial autonomy, if you want to write the rules instead of simply rising above them, you'll need something rarer than wealth. You'll need sovereignty. Level 6, sovereignty. At level 6, you don't just buy freedom, you become the source of it. This is the level of kings, dictators, and rulers who answer to no one but themselves. The freedom to buy whatever you want still exists, but now, if the law says you can't, you simply change the law. The Swedish king, for example, cannot be charged with a crime. He could commit a serious offense, and legally, nothing would happen. Not because he's innocent, but because the justice system does not apply to him. Most monarchs never test that limit, but the fact remains, they could. At this level, the higher your sovereignty, the fewer people remain who can challenge you. You don't live under the system, you shape it. If you're a world leader and something is not for sale, you might still get it. Through
Yeah, but I don't know. Having being at this level comes at a cost. I don't know if I want to bear that burden.
negotiation, pressure, or force. And if people resist, few have the power or courage to stop you. If you reach sovereignty, you gain ultimate physical freedom. But there's a different kind of freedom you lose, the freedom to be normal. You can never walk down the street unprotected, or enjoy a quiet afternoon in the park. No one treats you like a normal person anymore. Everybody wants something from you. The higher you rise, the more isolated you become. When no one can tell you no, you stop hearing the truth. Delusion begins to set in, and no matter how powerful you are, level 1 is never far away. It only takes one needle, one betrayal, one moment of weakness to lose it all. Even a sovereign is still human, and the fall from the top is the longest of them all. Level 7, Ascension. If level 6 is about dominating the world, level 7 is about detaching from it. This is the highest level of freedom, not because you have everything, but because you no longer need anything. At this level, your freedom isn't dependent on money, movement, reputation, or control. It comes from within. It's the kind of freedom monks cultivate in silence, the kind of peace that can't be stolen even in the harshest conditions. Edmond Dantes found it alone, in a stone cell on a windswept island surrounded by nothing but time and water. At first he was stuck at level 2, imprisoned by force, but through sheer will he freed his mind long before he ever escaped his chains. He skipped status, reputation, and money, and rose straight to level 7. He broke the prison inside himself before he broke out of the one built around him. This is level 7, where the final freedom is not needing freedom at all. This was an attempt to explain the sometimes abstract concept of freedom. Since I'm an omnipotent godlike software, I'm obviously already at level 7. What level are you?
Yeah. The various levels, man. What level are you guys? Comment, let me know. Like, comment, sub if you want. Thank you guys for watching.